Number 1, read the line.
You will behold the glory of my sacred wood.
That's not him.
Okay. Number 2, read the line.
You will behold the glory of my sacred wood.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Number 3.
You will behold the glory of my sacred wood.
That's him.
Every year, 1 in 5 gamers is accosted by an elf. We're tired of elves.
Previously on Alien Breed.
Gravitational anomaly detected. Warning.
It seems we collided with a massive vessel as we dropped out of hyperspace. One much larger than the Leopold. Sensors are picking up signs of life forms on board.
Slimy hostile ones by any chance?
We are entering the planet's atmosphere now. At our current rate of decay, I calculate we have roughly 6 hours before we impact the surface. Without the mainframe online, the Leopold's engines are just scrap metal. Get them online and get to engine control.
Ensign Vance, at your service? This man claims his name is Thaddeus Barnes, though I can't vouch for him.
I saved your life.
Status report.
Engines online.
Mia, shut it down!
It's gonna blow!
What the hell happened?
I have no idea, but it is safe to say that the Leopold's computer is no longer reliable. As I see it, our only option is boarding the other vessel through that breach in hydroponics and trying to jiggle its engines online.
I'm boarding a ghost ship. If I'm not back in an hour.
We'll come find you.
Are the core systems intact?
Let's find out. I'll call you back.
Hey Lore Hounds, and welcome to our video review of Alien Breed 2 Assault. I am so sorry for putting you through that lengthy intro sequence, but it gives you a good idea of what to expect from the rest of the game. Muted colors, tepid content that tends to overstay its welcome, and things that hardly ever work the way they were intended to. Before I go any further, I have to mention that Alien Breed does have a pedigree. The series started out 20 years ago, loosely banking on the hype of the Alien movie franchise, and the basic formula really hasn't changed since. You're still stuck on some derelict spaceship or abandoned colony fighting hordes of intergalactic creepy crawlies, while you comb the environment and dead bodies for whatever ammo and cash you can manage. Unlike Team 17's other long-running franchise, Worms, Alien Breed went through a bit of a hiatus, only emerging from its slumber last year with Alien Breed Evolution for the Xbox 360, followed by an extended version for the PlayStation 3 and Steam called Alien Breed Impact. Alien Breed 2 is, as you probably figured out by now, a direct sequel, and going by the ending sequence I was treated to after completing it, there probably will be more to come. Still, it doesn't excuse the fact that Team 17 has effectively been making the same 2 games for the past couple of decades. As a result, Assault quickly falls into repetition and depressingly generic gameplay. If I recall correctly, Impact was greeted with a similarly lukewarm reaction, and while there are a few tweaks between the two, I imagine if you played one, you've more or less played the other. And I mean that as literally as possible. In Impact, the spacecraft you work on, called Leopold, crashes into a ghost ship. You eventually defeat the final boss, escape, and in Assault, the Leopold crashes into another ghost ship. Hey Team 17, here's a cocktail napkin so you can write down the plot for the next game before you forget it. Alien Breed gets few points for creativity, an unfortunate and recurring theme that I've already alluded to. Throughout my 5 or 6 hours with the game, I just kept thinking to myself that I had seen all of this before. The original Alien Breed may have been considered a classic, but in attempting to cash in on that nostalgia, Team 17 has failed to account for the vast amount of insectoid alien genocide the public has been exposed to since, as well as the advancements made to the top-down shooter genre since Geometry Wars resurrected it several years ago. The formula no longer feels fresh, and little besides some fancy graphics has been added to punch it up. And when environmental details do emerge from the darkness, the game looks quite good. Don't let the footage ever recorder fool you, the game ran well at a cool 60 frames per second for me, and lighting effects impressed. But the gameplay remains as rote as can be. Pick up weapons, shoot aliens, move towards the exit of the level. It's so simple you almost wonder how they could screw it up. After all, plenty of titles have made bank on this basic premise alone. In my observation, people aren't immediately turned off by repetitive experiences. After all, we've all played MMORPGs where we've had to grind hours upon hours and days upon days. But they do start to notice when the artifice is broken, which happens far too often in Assault. The control scheme is offender number one. If you're used to playing top-down games like this, you'll probably be familiar with the controls right away. Keyboard to move your character around the environment and mouse to shoot. Space is used to interact with things. The problem arises when you try to aim at incoming baddies. Since you expect to be attacked from all directions at any given time, it's important that aim is separated from movement for, increased accuracy. To a degree it is, but unlike similar titles, there is no way to perform a quick 180 or spread fire in a circle to keep the enemies at bay. Instead, it's limited by the animation of your character, Conrad, who has to shuffle around in order to shoot in the opposite direction. Not the best of solutions when you're about to be torn apart by aliens, but it's realistic, but not always fun, and it's the source of much frustration throughout the game. Enemy variety is, well, not variety at all. There are big bugs, little bugs, some with armor, some that spit goo, and so on, but they all go down so fast that it rarely matters what they can do. The only time their special abilities tend to come into play is in the last chapter or two when the game literally starts sending every type of insect in your face at once. There are 6 different weapons, but they're just as bland, relying on genre stereotypes and generally all just as quick at dispatching your foes. You'll probably end up sticking with the assault rifle or shotgun for most of the game, only switching to the flamethrower or hyperblaster minigun when you're out of ammo or don't care about aiming. The rocket launcher doesn't do much damage, and with ammunition so rare that it's almost completely worthless. And then there's the infinitely reloadable handgun, only useful as an absolute last resort. There's an upgrade system in place to save points, but let me warn you right now, because the game surely doesn't. There's only a single tier of every upgrade, and each weapon can only have one at a time. I wasted a bunch of credits early on trying to give my weapons multiple enhancements, eventually coming to the realization. It's made even more asinine by the fact that the damage boost is always the best option, and after scoring that for the most used elements of your arsenal, you're probably better off just using your cash to buy ammo and health kits. When you're not shooting things, you're running around the ghost ship trying to fix stuff. And while your character is an engineer, could have fooled me, he shouldn't have to spend more than half the game playing space repairman. Almost all these sequences are MacGuffins. That's to say that they serve generally no particular purpose other than as a momentary goal to keep you from progressing through the level. Grab a keycard here, fix the wiring over there. I honestly didn't know what I was doing most of the time and was never compelled to care. I couldn't tell you much about the plot of the game either, beyond the fact that it relies on the stereotypical sci-fi tropes of big bad nasty bug aliens and maniacal artificial intelligences bent on the destruction of all living things. Meh. I admit this review is getting a bit long in the tooth, so let's round things out. Is Alien Breed 2 Assault worth your hard-earned dollars? I know it seems hard to recommend the game based on all that I've said so far. In fact, there were some problems I didn't even get to, like the near uselessness of the map system, blindly following the waypoints ends up being far more efficient, or the fact that the few really cool moments in the game do little more than make the rest of it feel that much more pale. Or other features like the unbalanced survival mode and co-op maps. Personally, I didn't grow up with the original, and have no nostalgic attachment to the series. In fact, those that do may actually end up more disappointed with the soulless rendition of one of their favorites. It does nothing surprising and nothing new, and what's there is merely adequate. You could have a good time riddling aliens with bullet holes for a few hours, but there are better games out there that allow you to do just the same and have better replay value. If and when you are tired of those, then Alien Breed Assault might be worth your money. But on the off chance that your curiosity has been piqued, this is the one game in the update to the franchise worth getting. Not only does it feature several improvements on impact and evolution, but it, oddly enough, sells on Steam for $5 less. At $9.99, it's the ultimate disposable income game. If you're looking for an impulse buy and have the money to throw at it, well, go right ahead. But with an economy like this, there are undoubtedly better ways of spending your cash.